Hey everybody, it's True Warrior here. I just want to thank you again for coming out and checking this video. I hope that the things that are said in this video are going to continue to help you and help you grow, not only as an individual, but grow in streaming, or grow in this case as a mod. But before we get into these tips, I just want to ask that if you enjoy this content, that you drop a subscription down below. Be sure to tick the bell so that you know when all of my videos go live, and we'll continue to bring all the good content that we can to help everybody be the best that they can be. All right, tip number one could be probably the biggest and best tip that I can give you, and that is that you've got to respect everyone. One thing that you have to understand and know as a moderator is that everybody that is in that stream is a real human with real feelings and emotions. And though people may be rude at times, it's our responsibility as moderators to be the people that keep the peace and promote the streamer and the channel in a positive light. So being respectful and respecting people's thoughts, their opinions, those things are things that you definitely need to do as a moderator. All right, tip number two, greet all the newcomers. When people come into the stream, they want to be greeted, especially if they're new to the channel and they've never been there. So if someone pops in and it's a name that you don't recognize, you definitely want to take that time to greet them, welcome them to the channel, tell them a little bit about the channel or what they can expect there, and start trying to engage in a conversation with them. That's going to be one of the key things that keeps them there for a little bit longer to see what kind of content is actually going forward and if this is something that they're going to enjoy or not. And a lot of it is determined by the interaction that we have with people. So if people come in, definitely you as a mod should be one of the first people to greet them and welcome them to the channel and start showing that support and building that relationship. And also when you do that and you greet them, it kind of prompts the streamer as well to kind of see that this is going on. You're working in conjunction with the streamer to provide that connection with the new viewer, but you're also helping take that burden off of the streamer so that if they're in the middle of doing something at that time, they're not able to really get to a proper welcome, they already know that you have it covered, and then now they can step in and say, hey, welcome to the channel, and kind of do the proper thing that they would normally do. Okay, tip number three, and that is that you got to display positivity. Being a moderator of a channel means that you are a role model for that channel, and it's going to be you that is somebody that sets the tone or the atmosphere for the streams, especially concerning the chat. So you've got to be positive, and you try to display the positive things that are going on and keep things in a higher type of attitude or positive outlook. So that way people will tend to lean more towards the positive and enjoy themselves. If they see that moderators of a channel are being negative or regularly complaining about something, then what tends to happen is people will either A, jump in and begin to complain and voice some opinions that may not be a good positive outlook for the rest of the community, or B, they will leave because they don't enjoy hearing all the complaining and the world is bad enough as it is. So they just want to kind of get away from some of that and just enjoy some positive gameplay and some positive interaction with some other people online. So keeping that positive attitude and positive focus is definitely the way to go as a moderator, and it helps the streamer a ton. If you do happen to have things that you need to complain about or some things that need to be voiced, use those in DMs to talk to other moderators of the channel or the streamer themselves, and talk to them off stream about that to try to get things resolved, so that way you're able to maintain that positive attitude throughout the duration of streams. That's the best way to handle it. So keep that positive attitude, and you'll see more people begin to come into the streams, and that's more people that you can moderate and help enjoy the channel and the content and everything that goes on. Tip number four, and this is one that is definitely a selfless tip for you as a moderator, and that's that you have to make the streamer look good. So the streamer has entrusted you to be a moderator, a leader of their channel. So it is your responsibility to try and help them look good in a positive light. Now, I'm not saying that if this is somebody that you don't believe in, that you should enforce or try to make them look good. But what I'm saying is that if this is a channel you have decided that you will accept moderation role from, then you definitely need to promote them in a positive light. So that means sharing with the community and the chat the positive things that you see out of that stream and the streamer, so that way it encourages people to support the stream and support the channel. So you definitely want to put them out there in a positive light, show all the positive characteristics for the stream and the streamer and the community that has enveloped themselves around the streamer. That's going to help the community grow. That's going to help build up the streams. And once again, that's going to help you really look good to that streamer when it comes to looking at your ability to be a mod for the channel. All right, tip number 5, and that's, as a moderator, you want to keep conversations going. You want to spark new things and say things that might encourage other people to get in and join in on the conversation. Sometimes chat can become stagnant, and if it does become stagnant, your job as a moderator is to help keep that chat going, keep the engagement going, keep the flow of everything going. So bring up different topics or different things that might spark others to join in. And who knows, you might get some people that are lurking, that they're just sitting there and watching, to jump in and say, this is a topic that I really want to talk about as well. That's going to help engagement. That's not only going to help the streamer, but it's going to help all of the people that are viewing that channel, because now there's something that they can get involved in. And that is the whole point of streaming, is an interactive way to view and communicate with others online. And you being able to be that moderator that sparks conversation is going to be a huge help in getting people involved, and that's going to make the chat, the whole stream, and everything else be amazing. So keep those conversations going. Have some things that are wrote down or things that you can use to help spark others, and have some topics or something, you know what I mean? Something that you can do to get people engaged, or things that you can talk about that might get people engaged, so that way chat keeps flowing and everybody's chatting. All right, tip number 6 is more along the lines of the administrative side of being a moderator, and that's handling rude or negative people properly. There are going to be people that come into streams just to be toxic or rude or say whatever they want to say in a negative light. That's gonna happen. That's just a part of streaming. That's a part of society, unfortunately, but it's up to you to handle it the right way. There's a proper way about dealing with people. You don't want to just be so quick to ban people right away, or just kick people right away, or time them out. Take a second to see what it is they're saying or they're doing. Also communicate with other mods, so have your DMs open, and that's another tip that we'll get into here in a little bit. But have that opportunity to be able to communicate with other mods, the streamer, and also using your own intellect and common sense to know when something needs to be handled. But you have to remember, as we talked about in our first tip, that these are people and they have emotions too. So you have to filter out, is this somebody intentionally being rude, or is this somebody saying something because they're voicing an opinion or a thought that maybe needs to be addressed? So there's a proper way to handle it, but you don't want to be so quick as a moderator to quickly ban people or just kick them out, because what happens is you're going to run out of people to ban and kick, and the channel's never going to grow. So use wisdom, use some understanding, and know that there are some things that need to be banned. There are some people that need to be banned. There's some things that require timing out, but know those differences. And if you're unsure about those things, talk with the streamer and find out what things they deem as a bannable offense, or an offense that deserves a timeout, or something like that. So be sure to have those communications. Be sure to know what the streamer wants, or what they're looking for when it comes to those things, and the community that they're trying to develop, and what they'll allow in that channel. So those are going to be good tips to help you out, but handle people the right way, and it'll go a long way in you being a good mod for a channel. Tip number 7 is to know the mod commands. Now, if you are a moderator on Twitch, Twitch has come out with a great mod dashboard to help with the commands. There's interactive buttons and things that you can tap on, things that you can click on that help make it easy to where you don't have to have these memorized. but at least know the basic commands that you should know as a moderator, such as timing out or banning or things along those, that nature, highlighting a message or something. Know the commands, know what you should do, at least have an idea of those. I stream now, obviously, and I don't mod so much anymore, but I have been a moderator for multiple channels, and I still am a moderator for a few channels. And I have a pad of paper wrote down with all the commands next to me. So I write all the commands down. They're sitting next to me while I'm in the stream. And then if there's something that I see that needs to be done, I can quickly browse through that list and get an idea of what that command is so that I can type it in the chat. So take that time to either write the list down, print it off, or something along those lines. Pull it up on a phone even. If it's not the device that you're watching the stream from, you can pull it up on a phone or a tablet and have those commands there ready at your disposal so that you are able to quickly, accurately use the commands of being a mod. It's going to help you a whole lot, and it's going to make things a lot easier when it comes to looking for something that you need to do or something that you need to implement whenever something unexpected happens. So have those commands, be sure you know them, be sure you use them. All right, tip number 8. Remind the streamer to utilize their social media. Now, sometimes the streamer is going to get caught up in whatever game they're playing or whatever activity they're doing, and they may miss an opportunity to tell somebody in the chat about their other social media accounts. So your job as a mod is to help them identify and see those things. Be the extra set of eyes, be that extra set of ears, so to speak, where you can use that opportunity to remind the streamer, hey, you should mention your Twitter account, or hey, be sure to ask them to check out your Instagram, something along those lines, but be sure to do that. And sometimes you don't even have to necessarily tell the streamer, but just use the commands. There are various bots out there where people can just go ahead and type in exclamation Twitter or something, and then their Twitter link will pop up. Those are good opportunities for you to help promote the stream so that it grows and that channel begins to develop. Helping out the streamer like that in that way and with that opportunity is going to be huge in helping the channel see some success and growth, because we know that other social media platforms is really where a lot of growth will come from for streamers. So you being able to help promote that and remind that streamer to put out their social media is huge in developing the channel and helping the channel grow to be the best that it can be. All right, tip number 9. This is a big one, and this is one that I really enjoy, and that is that you have to remember people. So when people come to a channel and maybe their first time visiting, make a mental note of that individual. If you have to, let's say you have a hard time remembering, write down their name. If they came in and they chatted for a little bit, just write down their name. Keep a moderator's notebook with you that you can use for the channel, and just kind of write down their name and a little bit about what they talked about. And it may be a week or 2 weeks, it may even be a day or so, or the next time that you stream or that the streamer streams. But when they come back, mention that you saw them and say, hey, what's going on, such and such. Mention the name, whether it be their username or their real name if they gave it, but show that personal connection. And that's going to be huge in getting them to come in and feel like, wow, I'm an important member here of this channel. I've only been here once, but I come back and they remembered me. That's huge. That's going to help the channel grow, and that's really going to incline that person to want to stay and hang out and chat and just really enjoy the community. The community that I have is absolutely amazing. The people are very generous and they remember one another. They help one another, and they talk about all sorts of things. Some things personal, some things not personal at all, but they have a connection. And if you can garnish that, if you can promote that as a moderator of a channel, to have that connection, to make people feel welcomed and let them know that they are cared about, you are definitely well on your way to getting those people to stay there and be there on a more regular basis, because they want to be in a place where they're welcomed and where they feel like they're valued. So definitely remember people, be sure that you interact with them, say hello to them, bring up past conversations, and that's going to help them feel like they're a part of that community already, even though it's early on. And who knows, they might just stick around and stay there for a long time. All right, tip number 10, and this one's going to seem like a little bit of an odd one, but play stupid when appropriate. And by play stupid, I don't mean you act like you just don't understand things. But let's say something was brought up in chat. The streamer has already mentioned something and somebody's asking questions about it. Instead of repeating what the streamer already said, just ask them to repeat it. Say, hey, what was it that you were talking about? Such and such. Or, hey, would you be able to mention such and such? And get them to repeat themselves. That will create a connection between the streamer and the viewer. So that way the streamer is the one sharing a lot of that information versus them getting all their information from you. Because if everyone just keeps coming to you as a moderator, then they have no real reason to go to the streamer. So when it's appropriate, you definitely want to just kind of back off some things and let that streamer take hold there. But you as a moderator are actively helping them and helping develop and grow that channel by kind of stepping aside and letting them repeat it. So let's say it's something that they already said, and then a few minutes later somebody else comes in, people are still kind of talking about it, and this person says, what are we discussing here? Then you can, just kind of lean on the streamer and say, hey, would you mind mentioning this? Or you said something about, can you repeat that? And allow them to take that opportunity to do so. That'll help build your relationship with the streamer, and it'll also help the streamer build that relationship with other viewers in the chat. All right, tip number 11 is one that I'm not going to go into a lot of depth into because it really doesn't require it. But don't be fake. And by fake, I mean, you don't want to spam the same emotes or hi followed by a few emotes. And then where it comes off that you're kind of like a robot. You don't want to be a bot. I'm sure that the streamer has a bot that is running in the background, possibly helping moderate and do some other things. You as a person that is moderating the channel needs to come across as being sincere and genuine and human with feelings versus a bot that just says hello and then stops at that. So be a real person. Don't be fake, but just spend that time, welcome people to the channel, talk and get engaged in the discussions, and just show them that, hey, I'm a person too. I enjoy watching the stream, and I've been here and gained some loyalty and trust, and that's why you see me as a mod. But I'm still a person that watches and enjoys the content, and I'm here to have fun with you guys, and that'll help you out a lot as well. So don't be fake. All right, tip number 12, and this is one that we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, and that's that you need to keep your direct messages or your DMs open at all times. Being that you are a moderator of a channel, you are seen as an authority figure. So if you've got people that come into a chat, they may send you a message to ask you some questions. They know that it's highly unlikely they're going to get a response from the streamer because he or she is in the process of streaming. So they're probably not going to get a quick response. But if it's something that people feel like they want to really get off their chest, or a serious question for them that they want to ask, they may send a mod a direct message. So you want to keep an eye on your DMs and be sure that nobody's sending you any messages. It may even be another DM or another mod sending you a DM asking some questions, and they may be a little bit newer. So you definitely want to keep those open and have that means of communication available, so that way you're able to quickly and accurately respond to any questions or concerns that may come from other viewers or people chatting in the stream, or another mod for that instance. So definitely keep those DMs open, be ready to answer any questions, and that's one of the keys to being a great mod, is being able to answer those questions quickly. All right, tip number 13, and this is where things get put into perspective for you, and that is, do not treat the role as a mod like a full-time job. It is not your sole responsibility to grow or develop any channel. You are there to moderate, and that is it. The streamer has entrusted you to do certain things while the stream is live, but it is not your direct responsibility to help a streamer grow in any way. There's definitely work that they need to put in themselves to develop. They have to do a lot of work offline, and I can tell you from personal experience of streaming that there's a lot of work that goes into it. But I personally take a lot of that on myself. Yes, I periodically ask for some help, but I never require anybody to do anything. And you as a moderator should not lose any kind of sleep or any frustrations to come your way from moderating a channel and not seeing some growth. You have things that you can do as a viewer and a supporter and as a moderator of the channel to help that growth, but it's not your responsibility. During the streams, you're on the job, but after that, you can kick back and relax and do your thing. But don't feel responsible. Don't feel like you are the sole person that is behind the growth and the continuation of a stream or a channel, because it's not your job. That's the streamer's job. So take it easy, enjoy, moderate while the stream is live, and then after that, kick back, relax, and do your thing. All right, tip number 14, and this one kind of gets into more of a monetary and visual way of showing support, and that's subscribe to the channel. Now, I'm going to tell you, subscribe to the channel only if you can. If you cannot subscribe to the channel, talk with the streamer and see if maybe they would be able to gift the sub to you so that you can stay subscribed to the channel. The reason being is because when people come into the stream and they see that you're a moderator but you're not subscribed to the channel, they're wondering, are you really supporting the streamer? Do you really care and support them? It's really imperative that moderators are subscribed to the channels that they're in, and that's because it definitely displays your support for that content creator and what they're creating. So you definitely want to subscribe if you can. If you can't, talk to another mod, talk to the streamer, say, hey, I'm not able to do it this month, or hey, I just don't have the income for this, but I can be in your streams and I can moderate and I can watch and I can chat and I can do all the other things. I just can't subscribe, and see if they'll be able to gift that to you so that way you stay subscribed. It gives a good visual appearance, so that way others come into the stream and they say, hey, look, all these mods are subscribed. They really do support this streamer. They don't know it was gifted to you. So, just do it, just go to somebody, but be sure you have that subscription badge along with your moderation badge so that others know that you support that content creator and that streamer and that channel and everything else that comes with it. And then you're going to gain their respect with that as well, because then they're going to be more inclined to want to subscribe too, and say, hey, I want to be a part of this channel. I really enjoy it. All right, tip number 15, and that is do not ban chat members for fun. Sometimes it can seem like, hey, this is a cool thing to do, let me ban this person, but you never know how somebody's going to take it. So you do not want to use and abuse your authority in a stream. So don't ban people for fun, even if it's a joke, because you never know who else is in that stream that may see that, not take it as a joke, and then decide, I don't want to come back to this channel. I don't want to be a part of this community anymore if this is how they treat people. So definitely don't be throwing down the ban hammer unless it is absolutely necessary, and that is something that you'll want to discuss with the streamer as well, and to find out, as we mentioned in an earlier tip, what things are, call for a ban or to be timed out. So don't do things for fun. Don't time them out just for fun. Be wise, be knowledgeable with your skills and what you have and the authority that you carry as a moderator for channel, so that way you keep everything in a positive light. All right, tip number 16, and this is our last tip, and that's do not excessively use inside jokes. Inside jokes are fun, they're awesome for the people that are a part of it or are knowledgeable about the situation. But it definitely creates a wall of division between those people that know and those people that don't. So yes, use some inside jokes periodically, but the best suggestion that I can give is if you use some inside jokes, follow it by explaining what the inside information is so that people that aren't privy to it can get in on the joke and laugh about it as well. It'll help them feel like they're a part of the community and that you're bringing them into some knowledge that maybe they weren't there for or was prior to them. So you definitely don't want to use too many inside jokes. Try to keep it light and be sure that everyone has an opportunity to be engaged. So tell some inside jokes, just don't do it too much. And if you do, my recommendation is that you let people in on it. Nothing that you do in a stream should be, completely quiet and totally out of the way for anybody to see or know. Let's say it's something that happened in a Discord chat and then you're talking about it on stream. One of the best things you could do is definitely tell what happened so that those people are in on the joke, and then invite them over to the Discord or Twitter or wherever you learn this information, or you and the community have talked about this, so that way they can join in on it as well. You're not only bringing them in and helping them feel more valued and more a part of the community, but you're also helping that streamer to grow and develop in other social media areas. So you're basically knocking out two birds with one stone. So no inside jokes, at least not excessively, and definitely let people in on them so that way they know. All right, so those are the tips that I have for mods. If you're a moderator of a channel, it's definitely something that you want to take seriously. It's not just something to throw around or just try to seek the title of a mod. If you're serious about being a mod and helping that channel and helping that streamer, you definitely want to take all of these things that we've talked about seriously and do the best that you can to be a good mod for that channel. I hope this helped you in any way. If so, please be sure to drop that like. Let me know if you have any questions down below about being a mod or how to properly mod a channel, or maybe there's something that I didn't mention that you would love to see me cover. Please be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer and respond to all of you. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope to see you guys in our next video.